Human trafficking. It's a global problem. It's a hidden crime that lurks in the shadows of our society. Despite its invisibility, it affects millions of lives every day. Millions of people are trapped in this modern-day slavery. They are stripped of their freedom and dignity. They are forced into labor, working in inhumane conditions for little or no pay. They are sexually exploited, their bodies sold as commodities. Children are often the most vulnerable victims. They are robbed of their childhood, subjected to unimaginable horrors. It's a horrific reality that we cannot ignore. Traffickers prey on the vulnerable. They use deception, promising a better life or job opportunities. They use coercion, manipulating their victims through threats and violence. They use control, keeping their victims in a constant state of fear. Victims are afraid to speak out. They are silenced by fear, afraid of the repercussions. They fear for their lives, constantly looking over their shoulders, never feeling safe. They fear for their families, knowing that their loved ones could be targeted if they try to escape or seek help. The internet has made it easier for traffickers. They can recruit online, luring victims through social media and online job postings. They can advertise victims online, selling them to the highest bidder on the dark web. They can operate across borders, moving victims from one country to another with ease. This makes it harder to stop them. Law enforcement agencies face significant challenges in tracking and apprehending traffickers. We need to shine a light on this issue. We need to bring it out of the shadows and into the public eye. We need to raise awareness. We need to educate people about the signs of trafficking and how to report it. We need to support victims. We need to provide them with the resources and assistance they need to rebuild their lives. We need to hold traffickers accountable. We need to ensure that they face justice for their crimes. Only then can we hope to end this horrific practice. In 2014, the FBI launched Operation Roundtable. It was a nationwide effort. The goal was to combat human trafficking. They focused on child sex trafficking. It was a complex operation.
The FBI worked with other agencies, we worked with local law enforcement, we worked with victim services groups. We all worked together to identify victims. We worked together to arrest traffickers. Operation Roundtable was about justice. It was about rescuing victims. It was about sending a message. The message was clear: human trafficking will not be tolerated.
The FBI used various strategies. They used undercover operations, they used surveillance techniques, they used intelligence gathering, they used their resources to infiltrate trafficking rings.
The FBI also focused on online activity. We tracked websites used by traffickers. We monitored online forums. We used technology to identify victims and traffickers. This was a crucial part of the operation. The FBI agents involved were highly trained. They were experienced in dealing with these crimes. They understood the tactics used by traffickers. They were dedicated to bringing them to justice.
Undercover operations were key. FBI agents posed as buyers. They gained the trust of traffickers. They gathered evidence. This led to arrests. It led to the dismantling of trafficking rings.
The FBI conducted raids. We targeted hotels. We targeted brothels. We targeted other locations. These raids were carefully planned. They involved multiple agencies. They resulted in the rescue of victims.
Section 5. Rescuing the Innocent, Stories of Hope and Freedom. This section highlights the tireless efforts of law enforcement agencies and the incredible resilience of the victims who have endured unimaginable hardships. Operation Roundtable rescued many victims. This operation was a coordinated effort involving multiple agencies working together to bring an end to the suffering of these individuals. Some were children and some were adults. Each victim had a unique story, a unique journey of pain and hope. They were trapped in a nightmare, but they were given a second chance. The relief and joy on their faces as they reunited with their families were indescribable.
One victim was a teenage girl. Her story is one of many that highlight the horrors of human trafficking. She had been abducted and forced into prostitution. Her captors exploited her innocence and vulnerability. The FBI rescued her during a raid, and she was finally safe. The bravery of the agents and the meticulous planning of the operation ensured her freedom.
Another victim was a young boy. His story is equally harrowing. He was being trafficked online. The digital age has brought new challenges in the fight against trafficking. His abusers were producing child pornography, but the FBI tracked them down and arrested them. The operation dismantled a network of predators. The boy was placed in protective custody. He is now receiving the care and support he needs to heal.
These stories are difficult to hear, but they are important to tell. They remind us of the ongoing battle against human trafficking. They show the human cost of trafficking and the importance of fighting this crime. Every rescued victim is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the unwavering commitment of those who fight for justice.
Section 6, Justice Served, Arrests and Prosecutions. Operation Roundtable led to many arrests. Hundreds of traffickers were apprehended. They faced serious charges and lengthy prison sentences. Justice was served.
One high-profile case involved a trafficking ring operating in multiple states. They were exploiting young girls, but the FBI arrested the ringleaders and dismantled the operation.
Another case involved an online predator. He was grooming children online and soliciting them for sex. The FBI tracked his online activity and arrested him before he could harm any children.
Section 7. A ripple effect. Impact on legislation and public awareness. Operation Roundtable had a broader impact. It raised public awareness about trafficking and led to calls for stronger laws. It spurred action from lawmakers.
Congress passed legislation that strengthened penalties for traffickers, provided more support for victims, and made it easier to prosecute trafficking cases. This was a significant step forward.
Operation Roundtable showed what's possible. It showed that we can fight human trafficking and make a difference.
Section 8. The unfinished battle challenges in eradicating human trafficking. The fight against human trafficking is ongoing. It's a complex issue. There are many challenges. We need to address these challenges head-on.
One challenge is the hidden nature of the crime. Victims are often afraid to come forward. Traffickers are good at hiding their activities. This makes it difficult to identify victims and arrest traffickers.
Another challenge is the lack of resources. Law enforcement needs more funding. Victim services organizations need more support. We need to invest in solutions. Section 9, the power of collaboration, international cooperation and partnerships. Human trafficking is a global crime affecting millions. It requires a global response. International cooperation is essential for success.
We need to work together to share critical information. We need to work together to track down and apprehend traffickers. We need to work together to support and protect victims.
The FBI works with foreign governments. They share intelligence. They coordinate investigations. They work together to dismantle trafficking networks. This collaboration is crucial for success. Section 10, Technology as a tool combating trafficking in the digital age. In today's interconnected world, technology has become an integral part of our daily lives. It has transformed the way we communicate, work, and even how we fight crime. One of the most pressing issues we face is human trafficking, and technology is playing a crucial role in combating this heinous crime. Technology plays a dual role. On one hand, it can be a powerful tool for traffickers, enabling them to exploit vulnerable individuals and operate in the shadows. On the other hand, it can be a formidable weapon for law enforcement agencies, helping them to track, identify, and apprehend these criminals. It can be used by traffickers. They use encrypted communication channels, social media platforms, and the dark web to recruit, exploit, and control their victims. The anonymity provided by these technologies makes it difficult for authorities to trace their activities. It can also be used against them. Law enforcement agencies are leveraging advanced technologies to counter these threats. Cybersecurity teams are working tirelessly to infiltrate and dismantle trafficking networks, using sophisticated tools to track digital footprints and gather crucial evidence. We need to use technology to our advantage. By staying ahead of traffickers in the technological arms race, we can disrupt their operations and bring them to justice. This requires continuous innovation and investment in cutting-edge technologies.
Law enforcement agencies are using technology. They are employing data analytics, artificial intelligence, and machine learning to predict and prevent trafficking activities. These tools enable them to analyze vast amounts of data and identify patterns that would be impossible to detect manually. They are using it to track online activity. By monitoring social media, online forums, and other digital platforms, they can identify suspicious behavior and intervene before traffickers can exploit their victims. They are using it to identify victims. Technologies such as facial recognition and biometric analysis are helping to locate and rescue individuals who have been trafficked. These tools can match images and data from various sources to identify missing persons and reunite them with their families. They are using it to gather evidence. Digital forensics teams are skilled at extracting and analyzing data from electronic devices, providing critical evidence that can be used in court to prosecute traffickers. This is helping to bring traffickers to justice. The evidence gathered through these technologies is often irrefutable, leading to successful prosecutions and long prison sentences for those involved in trafficking.
There are also new technologies emerging. Innovations such as blockchain, advanced encryption, and predictive analytics are being explored to enhance our ability to combat trafficking. These technologies can help to prevent trafficking. They can help to identify victims. They can help to disrupt trafficking networks. By integrating these tools into our law enforcement strategies, we can create a safer world for everyone. We need to continue to invest in these technologies. By supporting research and development, we can stay ahead of traffickers and ensure that our law enforcement agencies have the tools they need to protect our communities. Together, we can make a difference in the fight against human trafficking. Section 11, a call to action. What you can do to make a difference. We all have a role to play. We can all help to fight human trafficking. We can educate ourselves about the issue. We can be aware of the signs. We can report any suspicions to the authorities.
You can support organizations. There are many organizations fighting trafficking. They need our support. You can volunteer your time. You can donate money. Every little bit helps.
Together we can make a difference. We can help to end this horrific crime. We can give victims a voice. We can hold traffickers accountable.